All right, we're out there. We should have done it. We're going live. I'm here with Simon Tannock from Algae Enviro. So welcome, Simon.
Thank you.
All right, and this is one of my passions, being a marine biologist back in the day and working in the aquaculture industry. Simon here works with Diatomics, and he improves. Let's be right. You be using your technology to improve waterways, be it in commercial aquaculture and or environmental situations where there's degradation in water.
Yes, so wastewater, stormwater, drinking water, natural systems, aquaculture. Basically, if the water looks unhealthy and it's polluted with nutrients, then we can fix it.
Oh, it's great. It's passion to my heart. So, what kind of work have you been doing in the environment? Let's stay with the environment for a while.
So at the moment, we haven't done any absolutely open natural environment systems at the moment. So we've been running for 5 years, and I guess for us the lower hanging fruit are the wastewater, stormwater systems where people go, that's a problem. I'm being, the department's having a go at me about my nutrient output. I need to fix this, and so there's a cost to that. The fixing the environment, we're talking with councils up in the Great Barrier Reef area at the moment about the mine's gone blank, the Ross River, and places like that where they just fill up with hyacinth and things. So we can absolutely address those issues, but to date our work has all been in wastewater, stormwater, aquaculture is the main work we do.
Yeah. So your systems, your technology gets into these wastewater, say the wastewater ponds, and you trap the nutrients before they get in the environment, so that those ecosystems aren't put out of balance. Is that what you do?
Yeah, basically yes. Yeah. So we basically add our product, which is called Diatomics, to rebalance the nutrient that's in the water. And that allows the biology to then, I guess, correct itself. So we encourage diatom algae to grow. So our product is a feed for the naturally occurring diatoms. By encouraging them to grow, they will suck up all the nitrogen and phosphorus that's in the water, which is, we don't want that going out into a natural waterway. The diatoms will use it up. They will outcompete the hyacinth, the salvinia, the blue-green algae, the filamentous algae, and so they'll all starve out and not grow very well at all, and the diatoms will do really, really well. But as fast as they start growing on all this great feed that we're giving them, they then have everyone else turn up and go, you are my breakfast.
Yeah.
So it's like Pac-Man. As fast as they're popping out, somebody's coming in behind them and eating them, and suddenly you're turning the nutrient pollution that's in that water into insects, fish, turtles, birds, the whole natural environment. Absolutely, yeah. I mean, platypus get in there and work through those, and they're eating those macroinvertebrates.
Yeah.
So they're feeding off the biofilms that are full of diatoms because of our product. So that's how it works.
It's magic stuff. It's absolutely. Hello, I'm out of scene. Look at that. He's probably better looking, that's why the camera's gone that way. So I often go on about ecosystem services and the services they provide and how we can throw them out of balance, or how we do throw that out of balance with our pollution and our just the way we can go about conducting our everyday lifestyle here. And here's a company which is absolutely plugged in to putting those ecosystem services back into balance, getting rid of the monoculture pest or invasive species which take over waterways when they're being put out of balance.
That's it.
Right, and helping natural environment get back to where it should be.
So we've got a client down in Sale, and they've got a 25 hectare lake down there, and they've just sort of thought, we've got some other ponds that cause us problems, and they've been using that, and the waterweed on the top disappeared within weeks. And he wrote to me and he said, I don't know if I'm just imagining this, but I'm sure I'm seeing more insects and more fish in here.
No, you will be.
And he said, and for the first time I think I've ever seen, the kids are down there fishing redfin out of this little lake.
Yeah.
And so it's not just that we're cleaning it up and getting rid of the weeds, we're actually adding back to the environment and the amenity and the value for recreational users. Kids are out fishing instead of being outdoors on iPods and, you know.
And look, just think about how many small farm
iPads,
dams or lakes, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Out there. There's a big problem here in our region where we live with salvinia taking over dam waterways and dams, and then having to get mechanical removal in there, but you never fix the nutrient problems which are causing it.
There's two parts to that are amazing with weed removal. One is that if you've got a site and it's growing salvinia and it grows and it grows and it grows and it gets worse and worse looking, and then at some point somebody says, oh fine, get the weed removal guy in. So he comes in, he rips it all out, absolutely trashes the site, makes it worse, removes the salvinia. The site looks like rubbish. Everything's sitting in this horrible water quality for ages, but the nutrient's still there and it all just grows back. So you've got a horrible time. You harvest it, it looks like rubbish. It looks okay for about a month or two whilst there's no salvinia. Then it all starts to grow back until it reaches another horrible time that you do something again. It makes no sense. Whereas with our system, you put it in, it removes the nutrient, the salvinia goes away, you get clear water, it gets better and better, you get more fish, more birds, more turtles, it gets better and better. It starts to go back to where, as if people weren't polluting the system. Yeah. And at the end of the day, we're cheaper than these systems anyway.
Wow, look at the value you're providing.
I know.
It's not about price, it's about the value you're providing.
That's triple bottom line, because it's not just what the person is paying or the client is paying to get rid of the problem. We're actually making the entire system healthier. Healthier
and returning the environment, protecting or preserving or enhancing the environment's potential future.
Yep.
And that is the key to sustainability. Applying economic activity, money, to a problem which society needs to address, which protects or enhances. So, like, sustainability, nail it.
Yeah. Look, there's just nothing else in the market that says, I'll pay my money and I'll get rid of the problem. But I often joke and say the side effect of our system is you will end up with clearer water, more fish, more birds, more amenity. You know, we've got wastewater treatment sites where they say it looks like a farm dam. Yeah. It's so, pristine, and there's birds everywhere, and everything is just loving it.
So, like, if you're a local resident of a new estate where they've got the stormwater settlement ponds and they're looking horrible, your product can help that restore that, so that it's not smelling, hasn't got weeds, it's got wildlife coming back, and it returns it back to its normal stuff.
Absolutely.
If you've got a farm dam which has got a salvinia problem, or a pond, or you're just not getting the wildlife you used to get, you can restore that ecosystem services back, so it's working.
Exactly. And same with blue-green.
Brilliant stuff.
I think so. The blue-green algae is another one. I mean, you don't even need to think about the Murray-Darling system to know that the blue-green is a problem. It causes, when it dies off, it causes fish kills. It's toxic, and if dogs eat it or drink the water, stock can die. Can have massive implications. The diatoms, when we add our product to them and they start using that nutrient, the blue-green algae just disappears away. They're still there, but they're not blooming.
No, that's not blooming. That's it.
So that whole system repairs itself. It's the only system that certainly I'm aware of where you can actually get rid of blue-green algae, because we're dealing with removing the nutrients in a natural way. You're not adding an algicide or a copper-based product that's going to nuke everything. I was talking to one of our clients, and he said they're dosing several of their sites for drinking water storage, and other sites they're doing business as usual because they're testing us out. And this year they put 2 more sites on because they went, we need to address this. But he said to me, it's getting so bad we're going to have to go nuclear, which for him means adding copper, because it's the one thing they don't want to do is add another toxin into their water, which they then have to pull out again. But he said that's the only option we've got. So, we're now looking at more sites with them. So it makes so much more sense.
So I wanted to get Simon on here and talk to people out there on the First Step group. We've been talking a lot about technology and wealth creation with the SWIG and the Skyways, but there's so many other businesses out there and so many other innovative solutions to our pollution problems in the world, where people are actually working with ecosystem services, restoring the ecosystem services so they start working for us and we stop destroying them. And that's why I wanted to get a coffee with Simon and share it with you guys out there in Facebook. We're going to go back to our coffee now. You got anything else you'd like to add?
No, I think I've said my piece. I just love what I do. I get up. I've been up since 4 this morning because I love what I do.
Yeah.
And my brain turns on and say, right, let's go out and do some more
and make the world a better place.
Yeah, absolutely.
So life's an adventure. Get on it. There's a lot of interesting people out there doing a great work in the environment and sustainability areas. We're down here. Sophie's just come to pick up a coffee. We're down here at the Connections Cafe. It's a social enterprise. And if you're in Nambour, come down to the Connection Cafe and grab a coffee. They've got breakfast, full breakfasts for $14.
Wow.
Okay, $14. It's egg, bacon, hash browns, the whole works. $14. Providing employment for people with disabilities and basically doing things sustainably. Okay. So thank you, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.